I read The Global Achievement Gap by Tony Wagner. He is a founding executive director of Educators for Social Responsibility, and he has been a high school teacher, kindergarten through 8th grade principal, a university professor, among other things. In his book, he mainly went over different ideas on how to improve classrooms to better prepare our students for the 21st century, and he went over what job skills are most valued by executives in top companies and what they look for when they hire people fresh out of college or high school. And so he came up with this 7 survival skills list, which is listed on the screen, and you can see most of it's about being able to think critically and work together with a team, because it's no longer common where individuals have to solve problems. Individuals are required to work together for a common cause. Another key idea that he discusses in his book is the idea of achievement gaps. He discusses 2. The first one is between middle class kids and poorer kids, and he discusses how that gap has been worked on and is not as big as it once was in American society now. And then the other gap is the gap that the book is about, the global achievement gap. And it is referring to what schools are teaching and what students actually need to succeed in the 21st century. He claims that teachers need to spend less time lecturing and more time spending with their students doing hands-on projects or investing time in what they actually enjoy in school instead of memorization. He also discusses the different types of tests. He doesn't go into detail for every state, but he does talk about like the specific ones in California or Massachusetts and how different schools are reacting to these tests. A lot of schools have turned to teaching for the test, which is not nearly as effective as when certain schools teach necessary material for what they believe their students just need that follow the 7 survival skills than when they teach for the test. Wagner also discusses AP tests and goes back and forth discussing whether or not they're actually valuable and if they're actually preparing kids to go to college or to enter the workforce. He is on the opinion side that AP tests are not beneficial or not as beneficial as they once were or should be. I found a source from the Harvard Gazette that is explaining why more kids are not passing the AP tests, and that's simply because more kids are taking the tests. And the more kids that take the test, the more people are going into those tests who really shouldn't be in those tests or aren't at the level of development that they are going to be able to pass those tests. So instead of being in a normal level class, they're taking AP, and that's putting them behind because they're being expected too much of. So throughout the whole book, you can really see that Wagner believes that the purpose of education is to prepare students to enter a 21st century economy and society. He makes it clear that he doesn't believe that our students in most cases are being prepared, and he encourages educators to look into different ideas to keep their students more engaged in the classroom to better prepare them for their futures.